Alright guys, welcome back to Wasteland 3. Gotta remember what I was doing. That's right, we had, so we searched around, found what we could around here. And now we're going into Ranger HQ.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Welcome, Rangers. I'm Marshal Darius Kwan, and this here's Sergei Greatsky.
Good to meet you, Rangers. Glad to see some friendly faces. Been rough around here these last few days. Dorsey's attacked us too. Snuck inside Colorado Springs and killed a lot of people. Situation's under control now. Mostly.
What were the Dorseys after?
The Patriarch. Thank God they never got near him. He's the only thing keeping Colorado from tearing itself apart.
And sorry about these alarms. Something must have triggered the old security system. Trouble is, there's a bunch of angry robots guarding the computer that shuts them off. How you deal with them is your call. Your base, your rules.
Angry robots. Why are there angry robots?
Yeah, weird, huh? They weren't active when we looked the place over a few days back, but... let's talk after you kill the alarms. I can hardly hear myself think.
Alright, buddy. Alright, so we got some angry robots. Real quick, is it F5? Yeah, so F5 is a quick save.
Alarm, 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 alarm. Alerting to you in Uber. Visit a secure government facility you commit trespassing against. Before foreignation or you will be penalty.
Oh, kiss ass. Alright, so this base has been out of service for decades. Have you been on guard this entire time? Or kiss ass of one? We're the Arizona Rangers, a successor unit of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. We are government representatives.
Please hold accessing report. Still accessing. Remain on hold. All foreignation provisionally accepted. Servitors will remain watchful on you.
Okay, so that got them to stop. Or to let us go in here, I guess. This terminal is dusty and old, but when you press the power button, it flickers to life. The computer beeps and whirs for the first time in years. As it boots up, security alert flashes across the display. Every attempt to access a menu is met with command access only. Eventually you query the machine for commander's identity. It replies, command empty. Designate new command. Install yourself as command. A camera flashes above the monitor, and terrible photos of your faces slowly appear on the screen, line by line. Command recognized. Security alert canceled. Hey.
Well done, Rangers. Good to see the place up and running.
How do you like his hammer, by the way? His 2 fists.
Now, where were we? Oh, yes. The reason you're here. As you may know, I have a daughter and 2 sons. Liberty, Valor, and Victory.
Some names.
2 of them conspired against me, and the 3rd blackens the Buchanan name with every breath he takes. Consequently, I banished him. They've been skulking in the shadows ever since, but lately there's been rumors that I'm on my last legs. Lies, of course. But apparently my dear children believe them, and they've started making new plans.
You're looking for protection when they attack? Are you asking us to become assassins, so you need us to round them up? You want us to act as emissaries to your children? Make peace?
Peace? With those brats, you'd sooner tame a scorpion. I'm not worried about my children defeating me, Rangers. They won't. Not even Liberty. What worries me is the destruction they'll wreak as they fail. They'll tear my land and my people to shreds. They'll burn everything I've accomplished to ash. That's why they have to be stopped before they can start. That's why you, Rangers, have to find them and bring them home to me ASAP. And when I say bring them home, I mean bring them home alive. They're my blood. Kill them and we'll have a problem. Do I make myself clear?
Perfectly. Would have taken them alive is impossible.
You've already done the impossible by making it here. I trust you. Find a way to make it possible. Now, let me tell you where they are. Victory's holed up in Aspen. Valor's under the protection of the Gippers in Denver. And Liberty is raising an army against me somewhere out on the Eastern Plains. Anything else you need to know?
We'll need more background on your kids before we go after them.
What do you want to know?
For one thing, you must have plenty of competent people in Colorado. Why ask us to deal with your children?
Divided loyalty, that's why. I trust my guards, but they don't leave my side. Ever. Everybody else is making plans for when I'm gone. The 100 families, the Gippers, the Marshals, they're all out for themselves. And they know my kids would make good figureheads, give them some legitimacy. Any Coloradan I send to bring Vic, Val, and Libby back home might think they'll get a better deal elsewhere. But not you. I'm the only one who can save your people. Nobody else can get supplies to Arizona before they starve to death. That's why it's you who's doing this. You've got the only loyalty that works. The loyalty of self-interest.
What should we know about Victory?
Boy's never been right in the head. Since he was a baby, he'd torture cats, terrorize the servants, set the house on fire, and he's only got worse. The things he's done to the women he finds.
Jesus, buddy. Not a great son.
Anyway, I finally had enough and put the little monster under house arrest up in Aspen. Guess they weren't prepared because he escaped a while ago and then came back with a gang of freaks and turned the place into a slaughterhouse. Now he's on the radio, laughing about what he's gonna do to his hostages and daring me to come after him. He, claims he's captured some Rangers as well.
There were other survivors from our convoy? That's great news.
Don't get your hopes up. Vic likes to play with hostages. Might not be much left by the time you find them.
What kind of man is Valor?
Soft, spoiled, fiddled with computers all day instead of learning the arts of diplomacy and war. Finally packed him off when he accidentally crashed my security systems right before his sister's little coup attempt. Made him my official ambassador to the Gippers, hoping he'd do to their systems what he'd done to mine. That was a mistake. He took his revenge by convincing them to cut off oil shipments to my city. No oil means no heat, no light, and no food for my people. So getting Valor back and resuming oil shipments from the Gippers has to happen now.
So Valor isn't dangerous?
No, but the Gippers are tough and well-armed, and Denver's a death trap.
Tell us about Liberty.
Liberty's got more brains and cunning than both her brothers put together. She's the only one who could actually run Colorado. Problem is, she'd run it as a goddamn slave state. Everyone in chains, everyone working for her. Wouldn't worry about her for now, though. Best to wait until you got a little more firepower. She's gonna be well protected.
We're expecting her to try to usurp you? Oh, you're expecting her to try to usurp her. You.
She's already tried once. Got all the way to the palace steps before we chased her off. She's been licking her wounds out east ever since.
Thanks for the info. We'll do our best with them.
You'd better. Anything else?
We have a few things we'd like to ask about the Dorseys and the ambush.
Uh-huh.
Who are the Dorseys?
The last dregs of a treacherous family. Thought I'd wiped them out years ago, but mistakes linger, Rangers. I know that better than most.
Do you think Vic, Valor, Liberty were behind the attack on our convoy?
Possibly, but I know the Dorseys from the old days. They don't take orders well. Then again, I wouldn't have guessed they'd have the guts to attack both you and Colorado Springs at the same time. So somebody put some fire in them.
Why do you say the ambush was your fault?
My staff and I coordinated the details of your arrival using coded transmissions on radio frequencies we thought were secure. Obviously, they were not. And you paid for it. I take full responsibility.
Alright, enough about the Dorseys.
Good. What else do you need?
We don't have a barter one. Thank you for briefing Patriarch.
Of course. Now, if you want a chance to impress me, and maybe get a little payback, that call I got outside was from Sheriff Daisy, the head of the marshals in Colorado Springs. She's having trouble rousting some Dorseys who have been holed up in the Garden of the Gods since their raid fell apart. Why don't you go give her a hand? Show us what the Rangers can do.
Sounds like a piece of cake, Dorseys. This will be a pleasure.
Enjoy yourselves, Rangers. Just don't get killed. I want a return on my investment. All right, let's move out.
I thought they were gonna disappear. That would be funny to see. Hey! Was that an elk or something? Big ass deer, if not. Mission log. You have a new mission. To view its details, use J to open the mission log. Okay. Mission types. Primary missions progress the main story. Secondary missions are optional side quests. You've just received the primary mission, Cornered Rats, so your next step should be paying a visit to Sheriff Daisy in downtown Colorado Springs. Okay, so this one, Cornered Rats. Shortly before we arrived at Peterson Air Force Base, a large group of Dorseys attacked Colorado Springs. The attack failed, and most of the holdouts are holed up in the Garden of the Gods. The Patriarch asked us to help his marshals deal with them. And it tells us what we get if we do. Ranger HQ Brig Warden, Merc Armor, Merc Helmet, and Merc Leggings. Talk to Sheriff Daisy in downtown Colorado Springs. The Patriarch said we can start earning some goodwill by helping his marshals deal with the remainder of the Dorsey forces. We should talk to Sheriff Daisy at the Marshal headquarters in Colorado Springs. Oh, I thought we hit that and it'll take us there or something. So no secondary missions. There's the completed one, so Zealot, that is Valor, level 9. Psychopath, Victory, level 17. And the Traitor, which is Liberty, level 19. Okay. We leveled up. What should we get? Let's get... Oh man, that costs 3. So this one is 2. Oh yeah, that's right. We can get the 1 because that's just 1. We have a... what is it? Like a pendant or something that gives us a toaster repair. It gives us something. And let's go hard S for that one. Keeping it all level. Increasing attributes. Starting at level 3, your rangers will earn 1 attribute point per level. Attributes always cost 1 point to upgrade. Attributes are the source of all your vital stats. Want to live longer, run faster, shoot straighter, or hit harder? There's an attribute for that. I know. And we need coordination, awareness, and strength. Intelligence is also a very good one. Coordination, though, is the action points, and we really need action points. because we have big weapons and they cost so much just to fire. So I say that we get this one right now. Okay. And she has kiss ass. Oh, is this telling us that we have extra in kiss ass? Crafting. Recipe discovers frag grenade. Need a med hypo, grenade, ammo, or killer robot, but don't have time for shopping. Crafting lets you create useful items out of scrap and other components parts. To get started, click the crafting button in the inventory or press this. I can't remember what that's called. Okay. So crafting. These are just telling us about the components. Crafting interface. Select an item from the list, then use the craft item button or press return to create it. All items require scrap to craft, and more specialized items may also require additional components or skills, such as weapon modding or first aid. As you increase your skills and explore the world, you'll unlock new crafting recipes. Okay, so we can craft grenades. That requires 96 scrap. Okay. And we can craft 30-06 ammo, which is for sniper rifles. That costs 6 scrap. For, I'm guessing it's only for 1 bullet though. Or is it, okay, so it's 12. Or is 12 the max amount we can make? Not sure. But anyway, what's her thingamadude? Yeah, that's kiss ass, okay. So let's take that off. And without that, our kiss ass is only at 2. So let's go 1, 1. We still have 1, so I guess we'll save it for something else. Then coordination, luck, and awareness. She also needs intelligence for all the crits. But on this one, let's go coordination maybe for the action points. Well, she has decent action points right now. No, it's okay, so luck is getting lucky stuff. Awareness. Hit chance, perception, range damage bonus. Let's go awareness. And we'll put that back on. Okay. Radio. Radio static. Okay, so nothing on the radio. We can pick lock this. We get old journal. This journal has a plastic holographic cover featuring a jet that banks and turns depending on the angle you look at it. On the inside of the cover is written Journey of Alley Blue. And then we got empty cans of Aquanet. No bad hair, just bad air. Okay. Container. Money and a burn book. Can we talk anymore with the bot? No. A Polaroid photo. Alright, ammo, money. Handkerchief. Oh, a rotator, what the hell? That's a level 3 revolver. When the junkyard gunsmiths reinvented revolvers, they didn't skimp on caliber. Ammo type is spikes. That's weird. Tactical rip. Oh, it's a weapon mod, okay. Then aramid pads, so chest armor mod. Cool.
Rangers, come talk to me when you've got a moment. Want to discuss staffing and recruiting, that kind of thing.
All right.
Good job, Rangers. Nice to be able to hear ourselves think again. And now that it's quiet enough to talk, let me reintroduce you to the great Sergei Greatsky, who's going to be helping you with personnel.
Hi again, Rangers. Damn sorry about your people. But now that you're here, we'll do what we can to get you back on your feet and find you some new recruits, just like the Patriarch promised you. And I already got you one of the best. Meet Marcelo Gonzalez, electronics wizard, radio technician, and former dispatcher for the Marshals. He'll be your radio operator.
Howdy, Rangers. While you were dealing with the alarms, I took the liberty of installing a combat AI in your vehicle. Should help you out. If you want to chat, I'll be in the operations room getting things up and running.
Should be more recruits arriving soon. Ready to tell me how you want to fill out your squad?
Ranger HQ recruiting Rangers. Speak to Sergeant Greatsky to hire new Rangers for your squad. Your squad can have up to 6 members. No more than 4 can be Rangers. The other 2 slots may be filled by companions, such as Marshal Quan. Companions are unique NPCs who aren't officially Rangers, but want to help out all the same. You'll find plenty of companions on your journey throughout Colorado. Before we get to all that, we've got a few questions.
Of course, ask away.
Can you and Quan tell us more about yourselves?
Well,
Well, Sergei won't blow his own horn, so I'll do it for him. He's Colorado's greatest war hero. Fought by the Patriarch's side from the beginning and saved the old man's life about 100 times, right, Sergei?
75. Tops. Now, let me tell you about Mr. Slick here. Nobody knows the streets and alleys of Colorado Springs, or the people that live there, better than Dashing Darius Quan.
Dashing Darius Quan.
You're too kind, Sergei.
You 2 volunteered for this?
Yeah, I was getting a little itchy doing the same old in the Marshals.
And retirement was driving me stir-crazy. Just sitting around listening to the paint peel. I jumped at the chance to help you folks out.
You both seem awfully eager to help a group of unknown outsiders. Why are you really here?
It's no lie that I've been looking to leave the Marshals, but you're right. That's not the whole story. The Patriarch asked me to keep an eye on you, so here I am.
And I am truly sick of retirement. But, yeah, I'm doing the Patriarch a favor too.
So you're spies?
Let's say liaisons. The Patriarch wants you to succeed, and he knows it's not going to be easy. You're strangers in a strange land.
True.
You don't know the politics. You don't know the personalities. Who hates who? Where the bodies are buried.
That's where we come in. We're here to make sure you don't make too many rookie mistakes, step on the wrong toes. And yeah, we're supposed to report back to the Patriarch about how you're doing. But you didn't really expect to be left completely to your own devices, did you?
What was the deal with the alarms and the robots?
Not sure exactly. We came by a week and a half ago and it was stone quiet.
We were gonna get the place cleaned up before you got here. But then the Dorseys attacked the city, so it got put on the back burner.
Something must have triggered the security systems between then and now. Could have been anything.
How long has this place been abandoned?
Patriarch chased out the last big gang maybe 10 years back. Before that, all kinds of bandits, militias, and cults have lived here since the deluge.
Recently, it's been mostly outlaws and refugees. We should check around to see if there are any current occupants.
Could be what set off the alarms.
What's the deluge? We've been hearing that word a lot.
Around these parts, we call the nuclear apocalypse the deluge of fire, because, well, that's what it was.
Noah's flood was the deluge of water. The nukes were the deluge of fire.
What was the radio operator saying about putting a combat AI in our vehicle?
Gonzalez? He's a whiz with stuff like that. The AI will allow you to give the vehicle orders in combat without having to be inside it. Basically, it'll become another member of your squad.
Hell yeah. That's all the questions we have for now.
Okay, what's next?
Show us... Wait, yeah, show us who you've got lined up.
My advice is to put together a squad with complementary skills. Nobody can be great at everything. So, pick recruits who are good at things your current team isn't. And you can always round out your squad with folks you meet along the way. Keep that in mind when you're choosing from the recruits I've rounded up.
Okay, so we can put some people in there. Since we know we're getting Quan, because that's what they said, let's get 3 others. And we know what we're missing. So instead of choosing some of these guys, let's just create a custom one. Cost 0, so you don't want to hire this new recruits. Yes, okay. So, identification, don't really care. Let's do Phantom. Female, male, doesn't really matter.
Shoot! They saw us!
Background, experience. What do we want this one to be? We have explosive, we have sniper. We could get grease monkey. We need a repair or whatever. We need barter as well. We don't really need a sex machine. Hard ass, penetration. Penetration works with sex machine as well. Let's get grease monkey. Damage to robots and vehicles is 15%. Because I think portrait doesn't really matter. This one kind of looks like her. Oh, I think that's the same portraits we have with the other, with our own character. Starting weapon, who do we want this one to be? Assault rifle, submachine gun, semi-auto pistol. I was thinking pistols. So I've watched a little bit of people play this, so I know Quan is assault rifle. I know that we get a pistol person pretty early on, so that's 2 right there. Submachine gun, let's do that one. Yeah. Alright, the attributes, we'll go back. So with, I guess it would be automatic. Coordination, awareness, and speed. So we have 8. Awareness is hit chance, perception, range, damage, speed, combat speed, evasion, initiative. Skills, so that would be automatic weapons. So at least get 3 there. And what we need here, we have Animal Whisperer, we have explosives, we don't have first aid, sneaky shit, or weird science. We have kiss ass, we have hard ass, no barter or leadership. I was thinking this person would be our mechanic. You can repair vehicles, generators, and other machines more effectively. You also do more damage to mechanical foes. So that's 2. They can also be... They could also be our weapon and armor modding person. That's robots, hacking robots and computers for nerd stuff. Yeah, let's do lockpicking and maybe weapon mods. And I don't know if we really want a quirk here. We could do Prospector to get occasionally discover valuable gold while digging. But I feel like there's probably a better one. Because this person is going to be up close. They're going to be doing stuff with robots and generators, stuff like that. Should we get Prospector? Because they're going to need a healing thing. No, they're going to need 2 slots. Let's have no quirk with this one. And then we'll do one more. I don't want his name to be Varmint. We'll have it be Predator.
You started it!
You started
We have
it.
the jerk.
They have us at a this!
Enemies alerted.
We'll have Predator have the ice voice. And his background, what do I want him to be? We definitely probably want him to have barter. Maybe barter, leadership, stuff like that. Do we want him to be melee? I'm kind of worried to have melee because not only do I have a heavy guns person, but I have an explosives perk. So I don't want I don't want too many people being very close to the enemy. Is the only thing. We could have him be the leader. Paladin, yeah, leadership range plus 5 meters, crit resistance plus 15. Let's have him be a leadership kind of guy. That's our portrait. This can be his. His starting weapon. So what do we want? Not a heavy. I don't know if I want him to have a blunt, a brawling, or a bladed weapon. We have a sniper. We're going to be getting a pistol person. We're going to be getting an assault rifle. We have a submachine gun. So that leaves shotgun and melee or brawling. And we have a negative 15% or 15% crit resistance already. So we could get one of these 3. Or we could get a shotgun. I'll tell you what, let's get blunt weapons. Deal high damage to enemies in heavy armor. And you can stun with them too. They strike often and deal high damage to enemies with light armor. Okay, so like, I'm guessing animals and just enemies with light armor. This one might do well against like robots and just people with heavy armor. Just in case, let's do blunt weapon. Oh, that thing looks cool. And what do we need with the melee? Strength, coordination, and speed. So coordination, because of attributes, give him 3 right off the bat. Strength, because he needs to have armor and health. And then speed for combat speed, evasion, and initiative. Skills, so he's going to have melee combat. Immediately go to 3. He could be our sneaky guy. Perception, initiative, detection time, sneak attack, damage, disarm alarms. That would be a good one, actually. And then he also needs leadership. So leadership is nearby allies gain plus 8% hit chance, 20% damage on boss kill, 8% crit chance on multi-kill, ally bonus on revive, 16% con healed. So we'll get 3 in leadership. Ooh, he was also going to be our barter guy, I think. We'll get 2 there. And then what should we get? We're only missing first aid and sneaky. Oh yeah, he is our sneaky guy. So we won't be getting anything here, but the only thing we're missing, I think, is armor modding, survival. Are we missing both modding? I don't know. Let's get sneaky stuff. And quirk. So he's gonna be a melee guy. I don't know if I want quirks on these guys. This one requires you to be drunk. So you're gaining a 30% damage boost if you're drunk, because melee and ranged are down 20%. I mean, that's not bad if you can constantly be drunk. Man, I really want this prospector one to find gold. Let's do it. And we'll save these two.
Listen, I can get you all the fighting troops
Recipe.
you need. But if you meet any talented people in your travels, don't hesitate to sign them up.
So we got a recipe for 7.62 ammo, recipe discovered for a pocket saw pup, whatever that is. A repair kit. Spikes. Okay, so that weird revolver we got.
Now that we've got that sorted, let's talk about the next steps. Now, you're the boss here, so I'm not going to tell you what to do, but getting this place up and running wouldn't be a bad place to start. That means surveying the base and finding specialists to staff it.
Surveying the base sounds good. Should we get the place staffed up? Any ideas? The Patriarch said that Sheriff Daisy needs our help. Not interested in that. We want to go after the Patriarch's kids. Okay. We should get the place staffed up. Any ideas?
Well, I can take care of the rank and file, but you're going to want mechanics, medics, an armory officer, that sort of thing. A competent staff is important when the going gets tough. Helping Sheriff Daisy could be a first step. If you impress her, maybe she'll hook you up with some specialists for the base.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I'll start cleaning up here. Take a look around before you go. See if you want to keep any of this junk before we dump it all. Anyway, your call. Colorado Springs is straight out the main gate. If you want to go to Denver or Aspen, just hop back in your car and go out the way you came in.
Okay, thanks for the info. That's all we need to know.
One sec. Forgive me for saying so, but I'm guessing you folks are gonna need as much help in the field as you will here in HQ. So, what if I joined your squad? At least until you find your feet.
What do you have to offer us?
Well, I know this city like the back of my hand. And this city knows me. My time in the Marshals means I've got connections and trusted informants everywhere. Plus, I'm a sure shot and a decent scrapper. And, though it hurts my civic pride to say it, there are places around here where those things might come in handy.
Thanks, we could use the help.
Great. I'm at your disposal. Lead the way.
Marshal Quan, Companions 1. You've recruited your first companion. Companions are a unique kind of squad member. Unlike the Rangers you create, companions are pre-made characters that have their own personality and agenda. Piss them off, and they could leave you high and dry. Companions 2. You can have up to 6 characters in your squad. Up to 4 of them can be Ranger recruits, leaving at least 2 spots for open companions. There's no reason not to take them along, provided you can maintain their loyalty. Recipe for 45 ammo. So I wonder how we're getting these recipes. Maybe from just the base. So we got Quan. And he, like I said, he is the assault rifle guy. Let's look at his attributes. So he has coordination, awareness, and strength, and charisma. A little bit of speed as well. But his skills are automatic weapons, like I said. Okay, so he has kiss ass. Damn, I didn't need that. He has sneaky shit as well. But we can work on his first aid, so that's good. So what we might do is ignore kiss ass on Quan and go straight first aid. And sneaky shit, that one is actually good to do no matter what, because your perception, initiative, detection time, and sneak attack damage is helpful. So this one we'll probably ignore. Perks. Oh yeah, that's right. Lawkeeper. Okay. So, since he does have some strength, and he has the Convincer, Quan likes to flash his customized rifle when things get tense. One glance can often win a fight before he even pulls the trigger. Do we have any better ones? This is 8 to 11 times 3. 10 to 11 times 3. So that one's automatically better. That one sucks. Okay, I think that's all the assault rifles. And just in case, let's see. 7.62 millimeter. 5.56. Just in case one runs out of ammo, he can have both. Let's see. Let's give him a throwable. Smoke grenade? Oh, he's our first aid guy, so he can use these. So he won't have a throwable, he'll have those. That'll be to heal himself. And this will be to heal other people, maybe? Not sure. Maybe this can be saved for somebody else. And he can have this smoke grenade. Alright, armor. Well, he can have this rabbit. Crit chance +3. Let's look at... Oh yeah, she has a nailer. 7 to 8 times 3. Hailstorm 7 to 11. These use 9 mil. This uses 9 mil, so... well, this is automatic as well. So I guess as a backup, in case it's more important to have a shot than it is to reload. Let's look at throwables. She will need... Oh man, we only have one of these, is the problem. Everybody needs a snowball. And what is her... Her strength is only 2. So she might not be wearing too much armor. We only have these 2 anyway. Give her a little bit of that. Alright, so he's got the melee. And this does 19 to 23. 25 to 31. Kneecapper. Holy shit. That's a big ass weapon. Okay, and he's got this. At the moment, no throwable for him. Actually, let's give him the crit chance. Because what does she have? Kiss ass. +6. Combat speed, armor +1. So our pants armor kind of suck. I don't know how much speed we need, but we definitely need a little bit more armor. Look at that big ass thing. It's like Bioshock. Okay, let's explore this place, and we can get one more person as always. Can we talk to him again?
Rangers, I know your primary mission here is to bring in the Patriarch's children, but Steeltown must not fall. It is the economic heart of Colorado. Now, what can I help you with?
Okay. These volunteers you mentioned, where are you getting them from?
Well, I've got friends in the Marshals, the Patriarch's Palace Guard, and some local militias. They've always got more folks wanting to sign up than they have positions for. So I asked my pals to send over everybody on their waiting lists. Now, some of these folks may be, less than top grade for sure, but most will be solid recruits, ready and willing to learn. You'll have to pick and choose.
We need to manage our rangers. If you're going to be our chief of security, we want to know more about you.
Happy to tell you what you need to know.
So what's your story?
Well, came here with my folks when I was a kid, and was a young man when Saul was trying to unite the families and make Colorado a state. I got behind him right away. He had leader written all over him, even back then. I've served at his side ever since, fighting against the monster army, consolidating power here in town, helping him expand our borders.
What Mr. Greatsky means is that he played a key role in many of the Patriarch's greatest victories, and he had no small part in making Colorado what it is today.
You're too kind, Darius.
Darius Quan.
Well, the fighting's never really ended. Trying to hold it all together is a constant struggle. This business with his children is just the latest in a long line of troubles.
You served with the Patriarch for so long, you must like him.
I do indeed. Some folks can't get past his brusque ways, but that's just the impatience of a man who knows what's right, dealing with fools who don't. He cares too deeply about the well-being of the people of Colorado to let political courtesy slow him down. Of course, you'll hear a lot of folk condemning him for hurting this group or that group with his decisions, but the way I see it, they should be glad it wasn't them who had to make the choice.
Will you tell us some stories about your days fighting beside the Patriarch?
Stories? They are stories indeed these days. I've told him so many times all the truth's been wrung out of him. Now, let's see. Here's one. So, one day we were hunting monster army raiders and came upon a tin-walled shack. The people inside were shooting at us and not answering our calls to parley. Well, I got sick of that real quick and unslung my rocket launcher. But Saul, he holds up a finger, then creeps around behind the compound. Well, pretty soon we hear him smashing through those tin walls with his hammer, and then comes two high-pitched screams. A few moments later, he comes striding out, carrying a child under each arm. They've been shooting at us because they thought we were coming to eat their dying parents.
Okay.
Now, I will never know how Saul knew it was kids in there rather than raiders, but somehow he did. And we brought them and their folks back to the city and helped them out until they got well again. And he's always been like that. An uncanny ability to always do the right thing.
Okay. Got any more stories for us?
Give me a while and I'll see if I can remember any more. In the meantime, I'm sure you have plenty to do.
Let's talk about something else.
Happy to. What's on your mind?
Got a moment to talk about your past?
Anytime, Rangers. Always happy to tell war stories.
Nothing.
I'll be here.
Okay, so let's go inside here and talk to this guy. Gonzalez seems at home behind his radio equipment. He salutes crisply at your approach.
Welcome to your communications hub, Rangers. The Patriarch was good enough to let me use my own gear, and I have my high-frequency radio equipment all set up. From here on out, I will be your voice in the wind. You can contact Ranger HQ at any time through your radio, and I'll reach out as needed. When there's arrests to be made under your authority, just radio them into me. Pleasure to serve.
Tell us about your radio equipment.
The finest setup you'll find this side of the Rockies. This equipment took years to get together. A lot of it custom work. String and pieces of gum, you know? This is the only setup in Colorado able to communicate on all sorts of frequency bands, up to the HF band. That means we can reach you pretty much no matter where you are in Colorado. The basic controls are straightforward. You should try the device yourselves whenever you're here. I've picked up all kinds of signals. It's possible you could even reach Arizona.
What do you think of the Patriarch?
I've worked the radio for some time now, and I hear all kinds of stories from other parts of the world. Horrors you wouldn't believe. Is Colorado perfect? No, but it's a damn sight better than any alternative I've seen.
How do you feel about being part of the Rangers?
Speaking frankly, great. Protect and serve, right? Things had grown stale with the Marshals. I felt like I'd reached the end of what I could do for the people there. Proud to be a Ranger now.
Cool. Can you tell us again what it is you do? We know what he does. You installed our car AI. Are you an expert?
Oh, I'm not. It just turns out artificial intelligence isn't that much different from fiddling with radios. Easy enough to install, it turned out, but I wouldn't know the first thing about it otherwise.
I guess tell us what you do.
I'm your radio communications expert. I'll be manning the radio whenever you call in, or whenever we need to reach you, which is the easy part of this job. The hard part is keeping this equipment in tip-top shape and ready to go.
Okay.
Anytime.
Okay, so let's go ahead and explore the place. Now, we've already explored in here. Is there anything else with this computer that we can do? This terminal is displaying information about the base's systems. All seems normal. Examine the security system. The stats reports indicate all is normal at the moment. An option displaying old security alerts shows a number so long it goes off to the right edge of the screen. Nerd stuff 2. Investigate the issue with the servitor's behavior. After some searching, you access a hidden menu. The core processor is jammed with thousands of queued requests dating back a century. It's a wonder the servitors can make any decisions at all. Write a script to write the requests. You take a little time to test your code before running it, then watch the stale request disappear. Processing returns to standard capacity. With the accumulated clutter cleared, the system shows only a few thousand unread messages. Navigating it should be somewhat easier. Read the old security logs. Log data backed up to Era's archive room server. With the accumulated clutter cleared, the system shows only a few thousand unread messages. Navigating it should be somewhat easier. Okay. Return to the top menu. Step away. Okay, so we cleared the clutter. Get everybody. These guys are with each other. Okay, all three of them were. I was wondering where my guy was. Oh. Oh, there's rubble right there.
This must have been the mess hall. Better get this up and running pronto. Keeping your people well fed is probably the easiest way to keep them loyal.
Toaster repair. We got a Tarzan token. A brass token inscribed with a scowling face and the name Tarzan. And oh, this official badge proves you have mastered the ancient art of toaster repair. So, what is... Oh, Quan needs a... Do we have any trinkets for Quan? No. What's ours? Experience bonus. We'll keep that on, I think. And when we need toaster repair, we'll hit toaster repair. Cold food. The food on these tables is cold and partially eaten, but not rotten. It's clear someone recently fled mid-meal. Oh, we got a refugee in here. There's a door. What's this door go to? And we have some enemies in here.
Pretty grand in here. Maybe you can make it your trophy hall or museum or something. Or a handball court.
It looks like only two. And she's good where she is. So when one of them gets close enough, I'm guessing this guy will be the first one that we can... Oh, no, he's going the other way. Oh. Oh, we killed him. Okay, so he can get... Let's get him right here. Have him ambush. And... because he's in cover... And it seems like there's only one. Oh. Jackass. he's poisoned. Wolverine fur, it's coarse. Alright, let's walk around. There's a computer right there. Billboard. A fallen billboard. Who put it here? What fell? The power button on the machine resists your press, seemingly rested in place. It makes a sandy crunch as it finally gives way. The screen comes to life with a sad beep. Raid failure. Corruption detected across multiple sectors, initiating automated repair operations. Recovery complete. View recovered logs. Examine personnel logs. There are fewer logs than you'd expect for a base of this size. Many have suffered data corruption and are unrecoverable, but you find a few that are legible. Personal log, Colonel Forsett, March 22nd, 1998. I was 4. The world ended yesterday. Our missile defense system saved Colorado Springs, but Denver is gone, and we can't make contact with anyone outside the state. Discipline will keep my men in line, but we've only got a few days until the civilians panic. We'll need to prepare to hold out until we can reconnect with Washington. And we can do Nerd Stuff 3, try to recover some of the logs. This file is encrypted. You're able to find the custom script that did it and reverse engineer the key. Personal log, 2nd Lieutenant Halcott, September 15th, 1995. I was 1. He fixed his gaze on the monitor, fingers deftly tapping the keys, expertly covering his tracks as he pulled data from the system. Lieutenant Amore kept stealing glances back at him, enraptured by his steely blue eyes as she watched the doorway for the guards. Have you found the evidence yet, Captain Holcomb? We don't have much time left. The captain hit a few more keys and nodded. He pulled the floppy disk from the drive and signaled to the lieutenant, quickly, back to the vent. Ladies first, he said, helping Lieutenant Amore up to the ceiling ducts. Despite her generous curves, she nimbly slid into the duct, and Captain Halcomb was easily able to pull himself up and follow her, sliding the grate back into place just as guards swung by on their patrol. Okay, so was that like a real thing? And we have one for nerd stuff, but we can't do it. Read the old security logs. Filtering tools help you cull the routine and wholly corrupted reports. You may need a computer expert to access some of the files. 4/7/2000. Report 1, classified information purge initiated. Report 2, erasure complete. Command cleared. Fully autonomous security system activating in T-minus 30 minutes. Report 3, intrusive movement detected on outer perimeter monitoring. Report 4, intruders retreated without engagement monitoring. 26/05/2009. Report 15, intrusive movement detected on outer perimeter monitoring. Report 16, quadrupedal creature identified as non-hostile monitoring deprioritized. Report 25, creature remains. Report 88, creature departs. Incidents monitored without engagement, 1846. Incidents involving security reports, 5. 22/01/2010. Report 98, intrusive movement detected on outer perimeter monitoring. Report 99, bipedal creature approaches facility, deploying servitors. Report 100, intruder pacified, incidents monitored without engagement, 2008. Incidents involving security response, 9. Report 100A, automated amendment. Intention was for intruder. Logging technological review requests with information technology report 100. Jesus, how many of these are there? A lot. Nerd stuff. 28/11/2068. Report 750, intruder 32 returns to war room, starts fire for intruders 30/31/33. Intruder 34 is providing them with a meal. Logging requisition requests for additional servitors following abduction and core servitors 05 to 10 by intruder 11. This request has been logged 1500 time. Priority elevated. Report 751 attempting to wake remaining servitors. Wake attempts resulted in failure. Incidents monitored without engagement 7242. Incidents involving security response 15. Incidents with failed security responses 1. Incidents with inability to respond 4000. Report 755, intruder 34 now classified as deceased. They had some misspellings there, it seemed like. 2608 2102. Reporb 1. System wake up complete. Accessing database. No new information since catastrophic failure. Reported at numbers. Report 2. Intruders 69 to 73 logged in War Rube. Servitors knob responding to waked up intruders monitoring. Report 57. Intruder 71 is fully repaired. Monitoring systems. Intruder 69 has gained access to monitoring systems. Report 66. Self-diagnosed complete. Servitors 10322 and 616 presem but unresponsive bribe. Primary power unresponsive. Secondary power at 20%. Primary processing reports all goob. Starting to a little malfunction there. 10.5, 2107. Report 685. Intrusive movement detected at perimeter. Intruder 159 logged and approaching. Oh my god. Barracks various intruders seem perturbed and barricaded door to barracks. Retrieves after accessing war room and armory. Servitors remain unresponsible. Departs barracks. Enters brig and X-axis computer terminal. Horrible intruders. Has initiated a generator restarb. Power coming online. Servitors waking. Reb alert. Okay, that's it. Nerd stuff. Try to recover some of the security logs. Some bad metadata kept this file from filtering properly, but you're able to easily repair it. 1402-1999. Report 2. Radio signal reconstructed from partial burst over past 2 months. Transcript follows. Good people of Arizona, we, the remaining officers of the 249th Engineer Battalion, have been unable to contact our leaders at Forscombe for too long, and have come to the unfortunate conclusion that our government has fallen. Every one of us here joined the Army to protect the people of these United States, and even if the U.S. is no more, we intend to continue to protect you to the best of our ability. We've heard your cries for help over on the radio, and we want you to know help is coming. Keep calling, shelter in place, and stay strong. We're on our way. This message will repeat. Okay. Nerd stuff 2, try to recover some of the security logs. You fix an overwrite error at the start of this log and it becomes legible. 2103-1998. Report 5. Citadel starvation reports confirmed. Anti-ballistic countermeasures armed. Alert status raised to red. Report 77. NORAD tracking confirms multiple incoming contact signals. Protective countermeasures allocated to high priority targets. Personnel ordered to report to assigned stations and shelters. Report 221 Connor confirms countermeasures in local area 95% effective. Cannot raise communication with NORAD HQ or PACOM. Cannot raise communications with WH. Report 222. Revised estimates of success rate of countermeasures outside of local area are at 5%. Alert status remains red. Nerd stuff 3, try to recover some of the security logs. File termination characters are missing for these logs. Tricky, but you're able to find the proper spots to fix them. 1604-2021. Report 72. Primary generator failure reported at 02022021-562 will result in catastrophic failure of security system. If not resolved, information technology has not responded to repair queries. Report 90. Core servers placed into sleep mode to preserve power to monitoring systems. Secondary processing system placed into sleep mode to preserve power to primary processing. Report 72A. Automated amendment. Intention was for catastrophic logging technological review with information technology. Report 72. So they fixed that spelling error. Report 91. System setting designed to sleeping but vigilant. Step away. Holy hell, that was a lot of stuff there. Oh, what's this? What do we have? Anything over here really quick? Bones. Ammo and when you gonna stop being poisoned? Okay, there's some spikes as well. Now let's go to this door.
Please, don't shoot.
The woman is gaunt, her clothes ragged. She is surrounded by a group of bedraggled vagrants who watch you with fear and mistrust. We're the
Who are you?
Rangers.
You're not dressed like the marshals.
Who are you?
I'm Del Hackett, and I speak for these people. We've been living here for months, and we've got nowhere to go. Please, will you let us stay?
Bad idea. I've been in their shoes, but this is a military base. If we have squatters everywhere, it'll be hard to keep discipline. Your recruits won't like it either.
The Patriarch's people don't care about people like us. But you're not beholden to them.
She shoots a fearful look at Quan, but he doesn't seem to notice. Where are you from?
We all farmed in the border country between Colorado and the plains. Thought we were safe out there, under the Patriarch's protection. Back then, the gangs feared the Patriarch. Not anymore. They burned our greenhouses and killed everyone who tried to fight them. No place left to run but here. For any of us.
Okay. Did you set off the security system?
Not intentionally. The Patriarch's people drove up to the base a few days ago, so we hid in here for a while. Then when Andy went to check if they left, all the doors slammed shut and the alarms started whooping. Don't know what happened. Been living in these ruins for weeks and we never set anything off before.
Can't you go live in the city?
We're not welcome there. They already have too many mouths to feed, and more are always coming.
Well, since the Patriarch was seemingly supposed to protect them and he wasn't able to, they can live here. I mean...
Your call. Won't make the volunteers happy, but the Patriarch put you in charge, not them.
That's right.
You said yes. I was sure you wouldn't.
The refugees' haggard faces break into smiles. A few of them hug each other.
We won't be any trouble, I promise, and we'll help out wherever we can. Thank you for giving us a chance. Oh, and one of our people is missing, Andy. If you find him hiding out somewhere, you send him back to us?
Yeah.
Hear that, everyone? We gotta make ourselves useful around here.
I wish more folks were like you, Rangers.
Sure was kind of you to let us stay. I wish more folks were like you, Rangers.
Sure was kind of you to let us stay.
You're good people, Rangers. We'll find a way to pay you back. Anything you need?
You've had more time to explore the base than we have. Can we ask you about it?
Sure.
Did you touch any of the equipment in the war room?
Andy may have. He's the only one of us who knew computers. I told him to stay out of there because I was afraid of... well, Something like what happened when this whole place got locked down.
Have you checked out the med bay?
We stay away from that awful room. Nothing but death in there.
Have you been to the brig?
Yep. There was a man locked in there when we moved in, living off insects and mushrooms in his cell. I left him locked up after I met him. I felt bad about that. He was cordial enough, but he just kept asking questions that felt off. And those glassy eyes.
Okay. What'd you find in the armory?
Booby traps, mostly. One of my people disarmed an explosive on a door, but missed a gas mine under the floor panel on the other side. She was vomiting for a week. Almost died. I told everyone to avoid the room after that. No one here is worth losing over whatever guns may or may not be in there.
Anything we can scavenge in the garage?
Poked my head in there and saw a giant robot next to a dead body. Hard pass.
What's in the archive room?
We first got into the base through a hole in the archive room's wall. Some critters living in there chased us around, but we managed to shut them in before anyone got seriously hurt. We've been trying to snare them for a while for fresh meat, but they just chew through the ropes like they're Sour Patch Kids.
I think that's the room we killed the 2 animals in. That's all for now, thanks.
Careful out there. It's an uncaring world.
I wish more folks were like you, Rangers.
Hey, container. Soldier's note. A well-preserved tape from right after the war containing a recording from a Peterson Air Force guard.
October 12th, 1998. 7 months since the bombs fell. Had an incident at the West Gate. Some civilians dug under the fence and tried to make a run for the commissary. Sergeant Peters told us to open fire. Standing orders. Looters to be shot on sight. They didn't look like much to me from 80 meters. And when we got close enough to inspect the bodies, I saw why. They looked like scarecrows. Just skin and bone. The oldest was maybe 15. Every time I close my eyes, I see that kid's face. God forgive me. I can't do this anymore.
Okay, heavy stuff. Okay, so we can change our stuff here. Let's go search in the base a little bit more. Oh, here's the brig. Let's talk to him in a minute. Got some bones over there. Brigmaster key. For when you want to mingle with some lawbreakers. The body of a young man lies twisted on the floor. He wears shabby clothes and he's been dead long enough for the body to go cold, but not long enough to rot. We can't do first aid 3. Perception 3. Search the body. This man was carrying nothing but the clothes he wore on his body, and those are tattered and grimy. His shoes have holes in their soles. In one of his pockets, you find a half-eaten, sweet-smelling mushroom. Guess we'll leave it alone. Got a computer.
What's going on with the dead guy? Is he, all right?
Yeah, he's dead. The terminal displays information about the base's system. Everything appears normal for the moment. Check recent activity logs for this terminal. You comb through the logs, calling ancient messages and routine systems notification, until you have a list of recent activations. OS. Wake initiated. Wake complete. Credentials rejected. Credentials accepted. Login. Admin. Password. Admin. OS. Loading default admin operations. Backup generators initialized. Automated security lockdown initiated. Login required. Credentials rejected. Credentials rejected. OS station locking onto out user due to multiple failed login attempts. The terminal displays information about the base's systems. Everything appears normal for the moment. Step away from the terminal. Okay, I guess let's talk to the weirdo. The prisoner, waving at you through the bars of a cell in a pale rail thin man with matted hair and fraying faded clothes. He gives you a lazy glassy-eyed grin.
Hey dudes, hi. Well, what's up? Haven't seen you before, have I?
We're the new landlords. We're the Rangers is going to be our new headquarters.
Rangers, huh? Cool, man, cool. I like your look. I think I had a shirt like that once, a long time ago. Long time ago. Headquarters for what?
We came here from Arizona to help the Patriarch.
Arizona? Arizona. That sounds far, real far. Are there, like, more of you here?
That's not something you need to know. We found some recruits from the area and more are joining soon. We've actually got a couple of questions for you, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, man, of course. I don't mind. Ask me whatever.
What's your name?
My name? Ned. Ned? Harry. Nick. Booger. Dickens. Lyle? Something like that. Honestly, I don't, remember. Been a long time since I thought about that, man. Been a longer time since someone, asked me about it.
Booger?
I kinda been here for a while.
How long have you been here?
Couldn't tell you, man. Couldn't tell you. Like, there's no windows or clocks in here, Hard to keep track of when the day starts or ends. Anyway, a long time. Long enough for other groups, other people to come and go.
How have you survived?
Man, I got everything I need in here to keep on. Little crack in the ceiling over there drips some water. So I just gotta lick the wall when I'm thirsty.
Nice.
And, you know what they say about dark, damp spaces, man? Mushroom grow there, man. So I added a little self-made fertilizer. And those mushrooms are growing good.
You've been living off of wall water and mushrooms?
Yeah, man, yeah. Yum, yum. Oh, yeah, and bugs, when they come by. Buzzy crunchers and climby snappers and skittery two-bites and running gushers. Sometimes roly poppers and hoppy specks. Once a squirmy slurp.
What's a squirmy slurp? I love the running gushers.
That was a good day, man. But yeah, mainly mushrooms.
Oh man. Can you tell us about any of the groups that lived here before us?
Yeah, sure, maybe. Sometimes, like, a guy might come in, but I don't know if he was connected to the guy who came in before him, kinda hard to keep track of how long it is between visits, and people don't always tell me what's going on outside. But, let me see. Last guy who came in to see me was the dead guy. Before him, Tired Eyes Lady. Before her, the Smiling Woman. Before that, it's a little fuzzy.
Tell us about the dead guy.
Oh man, that's some wild stuff. So a while ago, that dead guy over there came running in here all nervous and freaked out and starts messing with that computer machine over there. And yeah, then there's this big ass flash of light from the computer machine and he falls down, and then all these sirens and flashing lights. It was horrible, man. Like, it made it really hard to sleep, you know? Then after a while, the alarm stopped, and then, well, you came in.
Okay. Tell us about the Tired Eyes Lady.
Well, she was a woman, dressed all raggedy, but, I'm one to talk on that. Anyway, she came in here looking sad. Eyes looked like she hadn't seen a good night's rest in years. We talked for a bit, and then she left again. Sometimes I think I can still hear her voice. Hope she didn't die and she's haunting me for some reason. Though now that I think about it, I guess I'd be glad for the company, you know?
Right. Tell us about the Smiling Woman.
Oh, a real nice lady, man. Had a big old smile on her face the whole time we talked. Just never stopped smiling. I think she said she was a trader. Talked about how she had some merchandise to keep here and some people she was gonna deal with. Said I wasn't a suitable client, which, sure, 'cause I got no money. Well, actually, she said I wouldn't be suitable for her clients, which I thought was a weird way to say that.
So she's a slaver. We know that that's kind of stuff from Fallout and everything. What do you mean by a little fuzzy?
You know, man, it's I've been here a long time, and I ate a lot of mushrooms. Can't always remember things that happened in the olden days, but I'll try. There was a gentleman bear, the lip licker, and the bloody screamers, and them metal fellers, and the really white guy, and owl face. Oh, and the 6 wee men and a lion.
What the fuck?
But, yeah, hard to remember who came in first, and, which ones were just a nursery rhyme my grandma told me, so, yeah.
Want to ask about something else?
Yeah, okay, cool.
Why are you in there?
Because, the cell door is locked.
Yeah, good one. What happened with this? Shit. That's not what we're asking. Why were you put in there?
Oh man, didn't you like my joke?
I did, actually.
Okay, like, well, so a guy I used to be friends with, well, I guess he was more of a business partner. Friend though too, man, like former friend who decided he didn't, want to go splitsies anymore, so he conked me on the head. And when I woke up, I was in here. Real bummer, man, like, seriously.
Why are you in there again? What happened with this dead refugee?
Oh, didn't we talk about this already? So a while ago, that dead guy over there came running in here all nervous and freaked out and starts messing with that computer machine over there. And yeah, then there's this big-ass flash of light. Then after a while, the alarm stopped.
Okay, so that's all the same.
And, well,
Logs
you
in the
came
terminal
in.
show there was a power surge like you said, but also several attempts to access the computer afterwards.
While those alarms were going off? How'd that happen?
We'll ask again, who's trying to access the computer after the power surge?
Well, that guy, he fell over onto the computer machine after the flash. Maybe he landed on the buttons, or on the thing with all the little buttons, or... Oh, shit, man! Do you think someone snuck in here while I was sleeping and fiddled with those buttons? A prowler lurking about? That's some scary stuff, man. Yikes.
We found a half-eaten mushroom in the corpse's pocket.
Oh, yum. Mushrooms are the best, man. So many flavors. And they grow everywhere and grow easy. I love them. Who knew there were poisonous ones?
I'm not sure about you anymore, buddy. Do you want us to let you out?
Oh, man, yes, please. Very much.
You're calling this one, Rangers, but really, I just let nature take its course here, if you know what I mean.
I'd really like to get out of here. Really.
We'll see what we can do, no promises.
Cool. I get it, man. No pressure, but, I'd sure appreciate...
I don't know about letting him out. Attacking objects. If your squad's skills aren't high enough, sometimes brute force will still work. To break down a door, smack a misbehaving computer, or forcefully shut down a power generator, use the attack option in the quick bar or press left control. Certain objects such as vault doors or ice walls may require specific damage types to damage. Okay. So we couldn't open this, we could probably just hit it. A Casio watch. Stylish, but it's long stopped working. Casio watches, man, they're good. That's all we get from that. I don't know about letting him out. See about exploring a little more of the base. We got over here. Oh, there's that broken robot they were talking about.
A garage. To get this cleaned out, you can put your truck in here.
Hell yeah. Ooh, the automated chauffeur. A pre-war advertisement for some kind of robot driver. Focusing crystal. This high-quality crystal looks like it could split some serious photons. Huh.
Tired of gridlock? Sick of dodging reckless drivers? Fed up with paying a fortune to shady mechanics that never actually fix your car? Consolidated Atomics has the answer. Introducing Hermes, the revolutionary vehicle AI that's an expert driver, navigator, and auto mechanic all in one. Hermes remembers your daily commute, gathering up-to-the-minute traffic reports to plot the quickest route to your destination. The AI also takes care of basic maintenance, keeping your vehicle in peak condition. Visit your local dealership for information on a Hermes upgrade kit today. Consolidated Atomics, 21st century solutions for the problems of today.
Okay. Really was an advertisement. The corpse of a young woman lies at your feet, her body contorted with an unnatural angle. Judging by the smell, she's been here a while. Examine the corpse. The woman is wearing a patchwork jumpsuit and a leather tool belt. Her pockets are crammed with fuses, bundles of wire, and bits of circuit boards. It looks like this Wastelander made her living by scavenging and repairing electronics. She would have felt right at home in an old garage like this. We'll leave the corpse since we don't have the first aid. There's the computer right here. This terminal is displaying information about the base systems. All seems normal right now. Examine most recent activity logs. Most of the logs appear to have been destroyed in a giant server wipe that occurred decades ago. The terminal also has controls for some nearby vehicle lifts, but currently indicates they are all unresponsive. Recall service elevator platform. Request issued. Please wait. A loud grinding emanates from the huge trap door near the garage's entrance. The smell of rusted metal sparking fills the room. Mechanical failure reported. A servitor drone has been issued a repair order. Okay. Guess we'll step away from the terminal. Where was that? Oh, probably this thing. Okay. Rusted slicer dicer. This enormous spider-like robot is in bad shape. It twitches in a puddle of its own fluids, its casing dented and riddled with bullet holes. Judging by the scrape marks on the floor, it looks like someone dragged it into the garage from somewhere else. Examine the robot. You recognize it as a slicer dicer, a pre-apocalypse military robot. It appears to have been badly damaged in a firefight and is missing some of its weapons. Upon closer inspection, you note that some of the bullet holes have been patched, and several of the legs show signs of recent welding. The slicer dicer's main access panel is open, revealing its wiring and power plant. It's clear that someone has been trying to repair the robot. Try to repair. I tell you what, we'll try to repair it, but just in case, we'll go ahead and put some people in places in case it attacks. Now I think she's the one that needs to repair it. Try to repair the slicer dicer. Peering inside the quivering robot's casing, you find a lot of salvaged parts and new wiring. Someone's been working on the robot for a while. There's a bad connection to the power supply, strong enough to give someone a wicked shock. It takes some careful work to repair the connection. As soon as the short is repaired, the robot sputters to life. It turns a cold, unfeeling optical sensor towards you, and its weapons spin up. Okay, so it did go bad.
Let's make this quick!
Armor system. That enemy has armor, which means that it can block some of your incoming damage. Fortunately, all weapons have a penetration stat. If your weapon's penetration is equal to or greater than your enemy's armor, your weapon will deal full damage. Armor penetration. If your weapon's penetration is less than the target's armor, you'll do a proportionate amount of damage, but no more than 80%. Examples: penetration 15 versus armor 10 equals 100% damage. Penetration 5 versus armor 10 equals 50% damage. Penetration 9 versus armor 10 equals 80% damage. Okay. So that's a good thing he's a blunt guy then. I want her to go behind something, so. And she can still hit, but let's go with this guy. Ooh, it's got a lot of health. Really? He missed. Okay. Ooh. Puncturing shot. Fires an assault rifle attack that punctures through multiple enemies. Oh, okay. Never mind. Unload. Negative 35% hit chance though, and he's at 95, so we could use it. And he can fire again. She's got the SMG. What is this? Ooh, can we hack it? Well, I guess that wouldn't matter. Oh. And that just kills it. Cool. I can't grab... You can see its bag. There we go. Slicer Dicer Self-Assembler. It's a quick slide item. It's missing a couple subsystems, but this is basically mostly an entire Slicer Dicer, and it puts itself together correctly, like almost every time. Requires 7 in mechanics. Deploys a robotic Slicer Dicer follower that will assist in combat. Self-destructs after combat has ended. Huh. A pulse gun is an assault rifle. Does good on robots. Not so good on... Okay, so... pulse stuff, like the science weapons, do good against robots and vehicles, but not humans. And crushed heat sink. Cool, so our assault rifle guy, who is Quan, he could take that as a secondary. (13 to 16), and it actually does do more damage than this, but not against, obviously, people. So that's pretty cool. So now we can craft all this ammo, which all just requires scrap. A frag grenade, the pocket saw pup. We need an industrial saw blade and scrap, and a repair kit, which is just scrap. Cool. Stats, okay. Let's see, ammo 42. I'll tell you what, let's keep exploring for a little bit. Where's our truck? Oh wait, let's open the door. Maybe the truck comes in or something. I don't know. I was thinking maybe it came in and maybe that's what this is for.
What a stink. Somebody's been using this medbay for a morgue. Gonna take an ocean bleach to get it ready for customers.
Yeah, there's a lot of dead people. This female corpse is bloated and putrefied. One of her arms is entirely missing. Black ichor oozes from her swollen torso. First aid 1. Search for a cause of death. Looks like the missing arm had nothing to do with the woman's demise. It had been expertly removed and stitched up long before she died. Instead, she seems to have died of an infection or illness. You notice that the corpse's ankles and wrists are scarred, as if she had been chained up for a while. We don't have a first aid of 4. This desiccated husk of a man is a little more than a skeleton covered in papery skin. First aid 1. Looks like a simple cause of starvation, case of starvation and dehydration, but you notice the same scarring on his ankles and wrists as on the other corpses, most likely from manacles. The torn skin suggests that they were frequently moved. So why would they be here? In, you know, the Patriarch's area. These people died in a variety of ways, most of them violent. Bullet holes in one, a crushed skull on another, a cut throat on a third. They all have the same scarring on their ankles and wrists as the other corpses, most likely from manacles. The torn skin suggests that they were frequently moved. Oh, this one had a thing on. The other corpse is missing several of his visage and facial features. Looks like exposure to extreme cold took this person's missing extremities. Scarring indicates that this may have happened multiple times over several years. But it wasn't the cold that killed him. Open wounds across his back indicate that he was whipped to death. Damn. You also find the same scarring on his ankles and wrist as on the other corpses. Looks like these people had been trafficked by slavers. Okay. So trafficked by slavers, maybe died, and they just put them here because they had nowhere to put them. Picklock failure, it's impossible. Alright, so we won't even need to go in there. Trap. Hey, we can...
Look at all this machinery. If we can get it all running, this will be a good spot for your armory.
Okay, there's another trap over there. Gonna take it real slow here, just in case. Some trash. Computer. This terminal is displaying information about the base's systems. All seems normal right now. Check recent activity logs for this terminal. The only log you can find on this terminal relates to a massive data wipe from several decades ago. This terminal is displaying information about the base's systems. All seems normal. Okay. So nothing on here. Level 4. And what are we at with our explosives? 3. This is toaster repair. Well, can we shoot it? Who has... Alright, she has a lot of ammo. Okay. So we can just shoot those. Molotov cocktail, alright. That'll work for us. Because right now we have a frag grenade. And the Molotov does 3 to 10 damage and applies burning. Let's keep it there for now, I guess. How many grenades do we have? Seemingly just the one, I guess. Yeah, I guess just the one that we have right here. Damn. Okay, so I'm guessing that is the whole base.
I need to rest a spell. Catch my breath. That all right with you?
Yeah.
Later.
Later, Jody. Yeah, I think what we'll do is end it here. Let's go ahead and hard save. And we'll go ahead and end it. Hope you guys are enjoying it. I still am. This one was kind of a really big episode of with some more tutorials and kind of a lore dump, I guess, if you will, from Marshal Kwan, Sergei Greatsky, and the Patriarch. So, hope you guys are enjoying it. Have a great day, and I'll see you. Bye.